Mysteries of Life with Jim and Toby. Hey Toby, what are you doing in the dumpster?
Beep boop.
Oh cool, a time machine and a letter. Dear Jim and Toby, who were the first 7 presidents and what did they do? From Stuart. Good question, Stuart. Well, good thing we have this handy-dandy time machine to help us. Oh look, it's 1791 and the president is George Washington, right there, right now. There's a tax on whiskey and the citizens are very mad.
Beep boop.
You're right, let's go to July 1794. Oh no, the citizens are rebelling. Oh look, the national government is fighting against the rebellion. Wow, this really shows how the government could use force to stop resistance. Okay, let's go more into the future. Oh look, the British are taking US ships, forcing the US to be part of the war between England and France. To stop this, George Washington is sending John Jay to England. He proposed Jay's Treaty to end the risk of war. Okay, it is now 1797, and George Washington is stepping down from office after his second term. Most other future presidents followed this tradition. This is showing how America has peaceful transitions of power. Okay, we're done with George Washington now. Let's go to John Adams. Oh wow, look, it's John Adams, the second president. He created the Navy. Wow. He also continued the policy of neutrality, which means that the US wouldn't contribute in wars. But he's also unpopular because he didn't go to war with France, he signed the Sedition and Alien Acts, he's a Federalist, he's upper class, and he doesn't have good people skills. Beep boop. You're right, we're out of time. Let's go to Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson is the third president, and he's well known for purchasing the Louisiana Territory from France. Here's a map of the land that was bought. After this, Lewis and Clark were hired to explore the Louisiana Territory. They explored and mapped this new territory. He also passed the Embargo Act, which was a complete ban of trade with other nations. It was unpopular because many Americans lost their jobs. It's James Madison time. James Madison is known as the father of the Constitution. During his presidency, he was the first president to declare war. This war was the War of 1812 and was fought with Britain. Its cause was that Britain was attempting to stop U.S. trade. In the war, Francis Scott Key watched Fort McHenry being bombed, and he wrote the national anthem, The Star-Spangled Banner. Also in the war, England burned down Washington, D.C., including the White House. Okay. James Monroe was the 5th president, and he did some crazy stuff. He created the Monroe Doctrine, which said that North and South America couldn't be colonized by Europeans. If Europeans would try to take any land from the Americas, the U.S. would view it as dangerous to our peace and safety. He passed the Military Establishment Act, which reduced the U.S. Army by 40%. He also passed the Missouri Compromise, which tried to have balance of power in the Senate between slave states and free states, and made Missouri a slave state and Maine a free state.
Beep boop.
You're right, this is boring. Let's have a break time. Okay, let's go to John Quincy Adams. Oh wait, our time machine has malfunctioned. Oh no, we can't go see John Quincy Adams. Oh no. Andrew Jackson is the 7th president, and he's known as the People's President. Great question, Toby. There's many reasons. He was a self-made man because he was born poor and on a farm. And he was a war hero at the Battle of New Orleans in the War of 1812. In 1820, voting laws were changed so that common people could vote. This allowed Andrew Jackson to win presidency, but while he was president, he passed the Indian Removal Act, which allowed him to negotiate with Native Americans to move westward. The act started the Trail of Tears. Many Native Americans were forced to move, and as many as 4,000 Native Americans died on the trip. Okay, that's it, guys. We answered your question, Stuart.
Hello, this is the time police. We are here to confiscate your time machine.
Okay. Well... Motion. An object's change in position relative to a reference point. In this demonstration, Rylan is changing position relative to the camera. Reference point. A place or object, usually stationary, used for a comparison to determine if an object is in motion. From the camera's perspective, it looks like Rylan is in motion, but from Rylan's perspective, it looks like everything else is moving. Position. A variable that gives your location relative to an origin. The position of the cube is 2, 3 relative to the origin. Distance. How much ground has been covered? In this picture, Rylan is covering 1.2 meters. Displacement. Change in position of an object relative to the start. How far out of place? The distance is the path Rylan took. His displacement is the line from the initial position to the final position. Speed. Distance traveled per unit time. Rylan is traveling 2.5 meters per second. Instantaneous speed. The speed of an object at a particular instant in time. At this instant, his speed is 0.1 meters per second. Constant speed. Speed is the same in any direction. Rylan isn't changing his speed, making it constant. Average speed. Total distance traveled per total time. He isn't traveling at a constant speed, but his total distance is 4 blocks, and his total time is 4 seconds, so his average speed is 1 block per second. Velocity. Displacement over time. Speed in a given direction. Rylan is traveling 1 block per second east. Acceleration. Change in velocity over time. Rylan is increasing his velocity at a constant rate, so its acceleration is constant.
Have you ever been in a life situation? Have you ever been scared for your life? Well, today is your lucky day, because we are selling protection. That's right, protection.
I'm the CEO of Don't Kill Me Incorporated, and I'm here to sell Samurai. Yes, a mobile warrior. The revolutionary protection will keep you safe no matter what. He'll follow the way of Bushido, which means he'll sacrifice himself for you.
I have multiple weapons in my arsenal, including the katana, wakizashi, kanto, longbow, and spear. I also have skilled armor to fend off other swords. The samurai code of law is called Bushido. I always serve their lords, even if it means death. I also like screaming while I be killing. We will sell only 1,000 of these legendary warriors. So get this phone and call 614 not dead. That's right. But if you call in the next 5 seconds, we'll double your deal. That's right. Double.
You can get your own samurai for only $99.99, but if you call in the next 2 days at 614 not dead, you can double your deal and you'll get double samurai. Yay!
We are not responsible for you dying with a samurai, nor will we be sued for this claim. Don't use a samurai if you have diabetes or risk for heart attack.